Welcome back to another episode of the Blue Review. I'm Parker Bell alongside Greg Bergman, and Marcus Grant is back with us today. Yesterday we had the privilege of having on our friend from Foul Territory TV, Chris Macias, and now we have our dear friend Marcus Grant back. Chris Macias, my bad. My fault. I saw it. Clint! Oh, Clint, I'm so sorry. Oh, Clint, you know what?
We are off to a roaring start today. Here we go.
And that's how we get the Blue Review started here. Yeah, let's here. You know what? New me. We're starting this over. And we're back with another episode of the Blue Review. I'm Parker Bell, Dodgers fan Parker Bell. We're going to get into that later. Thank you for joining us. Dodgers get a big win. We're going to get into all of that and more. Let's just first check in. How are we doing, Greg? It looks like you're not feeling too well. Just doubling down. Marcus, how we doing, man? We noticed you're in another room today.
Yeah, I got transferred out of my normal space, so I'm in my well, let's call it the auxiliary studio today. Not the normal setup, but you know what? I'm doing what I can. Like I'm not playing sick like Greg is, but I'm trying to just do whatever I can to help the ball club right now.
Yeah, we can hear you loud.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Greg.
Can't hear Greg. I got a text from Matt Moreno, who was from Dodger Blue. Can't hear Greg.
Oh, well, first off, I appreciate everyone tuning in. Greg, go ahead, give us a little more.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Yeah, we should be able to hear you now, up and running. You know, this is just how we do it on after a long day of enjoying baseball in the sun. The only thing I want to think about is baseball. I'm sorry, but we're here and we're up now.
Parker, you're burying the lead here because we're going about all this other stuff. You were at the Ravine yesterday for the home openers, so you have to let us know what was the experience like. What was the crowd like? I mean, I know everybody went nuts when Bryan Cranston announced Shohei in the starting lineup. I mean, just take us through what that day was like.
Yeah, no, I did bury the lead there, and I just completely flopped it. You know what? It was just such a great environment. I think the home opener attendance was almost 43,000. So we had the 52,667 in total. So I mean, everybody was calling off sick like Greg here and showing up.
I'm here.
They showed up and they showed up big. The excitement in the air is. I know that we've been nonstop talking about just scandal here. Is the inside of the infield going to be fine? Nobody cared. As soon as we stepped into that stadium, as soon as everyone stepped in that stadium, the only thing they cared about was that ITFDB. It's time for Dodgers baseball. We were back, and just walking through, I got the feeling that they know this is going to be a great team. And I was walking around asking people, what are your expectations? What are your expectations? What do you feel? I got so many World Series. I mean, I know that's every year, but it just felt a little different this year, and the Dodgers showed why. And, I mean, we can kind of get into that a little bit. Marcus, how did we feel? Let's just start with Glasnow real quick before we get into the big three. How did we feel about Glasnow, the 6'8" from Santa Clarita's performance?
Yeah, he looked good. And I know we talked about him after the actual season opener, the game in Seoul, where we were all just kind of underwhelmed by the performance. I mean, the Dodgers went out and they got the win, but I don't know that any of us were blown away by what we saw from Glasnow. I think what we saw yesterday is a little bit closer to what we were expecting from him over the course of the season. I mean, I think they said he touched 97, 98, pretty regularly on the radar gun. Um, he had good command. He got a lot of swings and misses. I mean, really the only blemish was the home run he gave up to Goldschmidt, which, side note, I mean, Greg, I'm sure you know this. If Paul Goldschmidt could play the Dodgers every day, he would be the greatest baseball player who ever lived. I mean, it doesn't matter where he is, Arizona, St. Louis, it doesn't matter. He just destroys the Dodgers. And so that was really the only blemish that I saw from Glasnow. Maybe some deep counts, a walk or two here or there, but otherwise, this really felt much more like the kind of start that the Dodgers were hoping for when they brought him in.
Yeah, no, I thought he was great. I think he only had like 80 some pitches in 6 innings. That's no walks. He had a few Ks, and probably could have had a little bit higher, but he had the swings and misses like you were talking about. The fact that he had those swings and misses, what pitcher is going well when you get some of that. And yeah, Goldie just destroys the Dodgers, and it's really not just the Dodgers anymore. He just destroys everybody.
Yeah.
So if Goldie's going to get you, it's like, all right. Fine. It was like Mike Trout for the Angels. Your Angels over there. He hits a home run on his first at bat, and they still lose. That's I think that's what the biggest thing. I thought Glasnow, it was exactly what we were going to get down the line, and we're going to see more of that. So I'm very excited to see him down the stretch throughout the season.
Yeah, opening day, it's back when the Angels are already in midseason form. When you have the smell of Dodger dogs, and when you're getting top deck views. I'll throw up some images later so that we can see what it was like at the stadium. But Greg, I know you were watching from Clearman's Galley. I mean, what was the reaction to our listeners? How did they feel about the team? It looked like it was really exciting when I was tuning in.
Yeah, Clearman's Galley was packed. It was we've been at Clearman's Galley, I think 3 of the last 4 years, and just not last year. And it was packed to the brim. That was probably the most people I've seen inside there. So it was really, really excited. And they were all excited. Whenever, like when Mookie hit a home run, everybody was going crazy. When Shohei hit that double, everybody went crazy. And by the way, that's the difference between playing on the Angels and playing on the Dodgers. On the Angels, he has to stretch that to the triple so that he can find his way home in some way. On the Dodgers, he can stop at second. He can actually stop at second so that Freddie can bring him in. But if you're on the Angels, you're gonna get it's just gonna be a sac fly if you get to third. Otherwise, he's not getting home. So I think it's little shots at the Angels. Nothing wrong with that. But the place was rocking, and everybody's really excited. It was a really fun opening day experience.
I mean, I really feel like we got yesterday everything you sort of like the top line stuff, right? The headline stuff. You got a great start out of Glasnow. Yeah. The top 3 guys in the batting order all produced, right? You had 2 hits from Shohei. You had home runs from Mookie and Freddie. All those guys produced. So it was like, I mean, it's in terms of an opening, right? The lead there, we got everything we wanted. Now there's still, 159 more games left to go, and so now there's plenty of time for sort of the other guys to jump in. I mean, I saw the tweet response that you responded to, Greg, about like we need production from 3 through 9. Well, one, they got that. They got that in Seoul, first of all. I love just like Freddie hits third and he had 3 RBIs his first 2 at bats. So there was that part. But the other part of it is in Seoul, we did see those other guys produce, right? I mean, Max Muncy drove in runs. Jason Hayward had a couple of RBIs. Teoscar Hernandez scored a couple of runs. So, I mean, we have seen that production. So I'm not really worried about it over the course of the next few months, but it just was sort of nice that on the day that they reintroduced themselves to Los Angeles, that all the stars, all the guys that made headlines in the offseason, minus, I guess, Yamamoto because he didn't play, but they all showed up and they showed out in day 1 at home.
And he's talking about the 3 through 9 guys. Only 2 guys that were starters on this team yesterday didn't get a hit. So, I mean, it was just Jason Hayward and Gavin Lux who didn't get a hit. I don't know where he's getting the production. James Outman had an RBI.
Muncy had 2.
Muncy had 2, but he also just missed a home run. So, like that's all going to come. I think the thing that I liked the most was that Freddie, that whole thing with Freddie having 3 RBIs in his first 2 at bat. That's going to be quite off. It's not going to happen every game, of course, but quite often Shohei or Mookie or both will be on base, and all he has to do is just drive them in over and over and over again. Those top three are going to do that pretty consistently, you'd think.
I mean, could we say 150 RBI for Freddie if things go right?
I would not be surprised at 150. That's a really big number.
It's a monster number. It's a monster number. And I mean, I'm somewhat exaggerating, but the fact that the two guys ahead of you are going to be on base consistently. I guess the issue for Freddie is that, hopefully Mookie and Shohei don't drive themselves in too many times with home runs. But I mean,
no, don't do that.
Oh no, it's terrible. Freddie only had 100 RBIs because Mookie and Shohei kept doing a lot of work ahead of him. But there's the potential for a really big number of RBI for him.
Yeah, the top three could all be around 100 RBIs. That is very, very possible and almost likely at this point, which is wild to say.
I mean, they were on base 9 times
in one game.
9 times in one game, and that's just the front three. I was sitting there watching it, and I think there was the point where I posted on our socials, and, we all saw it. Mookie, dinger. Ohtani, walk. Freddie, dinger. I mean, just you're going to be seeing sequences like that where you don't see often with teams. That's like an amazing day for teams. This is going to be almost a normal day. Granted, they did work, and they absolutely wrecked, what's his name,
Michaelis? Miles Michaelis,
the extra from a 1939 movie, according to
he looks like like he would have some sort of weird 1930s type nickname, Miles the dairy farmer Michaelis or something like that. From whatever.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, he was kind of talking some jazz before this matchup, so couldn't have happened to a worse guy.
That's the thing. He's saying the Dodgers are playing checkbook baseball, but if you actually look at the team and look at the people that were playing in that game, it's not all. Yes, they did go out and get Shohei. They bought Yamamoto. They got Glasnow, those kind of guys, but it's still a lot of technically homegrown talent minus the top three. Will Smith is from the minor leagues. Max Muncy, while he was brought in from the A's, he started in the minor leagues and then brought up. Chris Taylor from the minor leagues, Kike from the minor leagues. I know Taylor came from Seattle as well, but he was down in the minors. Gavin Lux is another guy. A lot of this team is still homegrown. And by the way, Bobby Miller in the starting rotation, Gavin Stone in the starting rotation, Clayton Kershaw, Walker Buehler. All of these guys are homegrown. So, yes, they are spending money and bringing in big names, but there's a lot of homegrown talent still on this team.
Yeah, and then you look at it's just so magnified because of that front three. But then you look at the back end of the lineup, somebody like Yarbrough, who came in with a 3-inning save. Yes, granted, they paid for him, but it's not like they're going out spending billions on the relievers,
Nobody across Major League Baseball is stomping up and down because the Dodgers signed Ryan Yarbrough. You know what I'm saying?
No, but getting that three. Who is it? It's Eric Steven on Twitter, who absolutely loves whenever there's a 3-inning save. So that's a big day for him.
I mean, hey, we'll take the holds on fantasy baseball.
No, it's a save.
It's a save.
Yeah, we'll take everything. Now, back to Glasnow a little bit. How about that breaking stuff? We saw, I think his slider had maybe 8 whiffs on 14 swings, and that was the things that we were missing in Korea. How do we feel moving forward? I know to see that he put up 6 innings and 81 pitches, this is all just good signs so far. It looks like he's at home, and he's feeling better than he's ever felt. Everything he's saying is the right things. Are we about to see maybe a Cy Young level year from Glasnow?
He just has to stay healthy. I mean, that has been the issue with his entire career. It's just staying healthy. So if he can get through, I don't know, call it 25 starts, sure, why not? I mean, the stuff is there. I don't think anybody's ever argued with the ability. It's his availability that has been the problem. So as long as he is, up and making his start every 5th day, that's certainly in the realm of possibility.
Yeah, see, Marcus, I think you were talking about it on Wednesday about he's at home, he's not in that dome, he's not in over in Korea, and all the things that happened for him, the different elements that he had to deal with in Korea that's different from being home in Los Angeles. And so he came out and he pitched very well. Also, it's his second year back from Tommy John surgery. So I know it's his second one, but the second year after the Tommy John surgery is usually the year that you're back to who you're supposed to be. And hopefully that now, with being back at home and feeling the way that he's feeling, hopefully you do get those 25 starts, close to 200 strikeouts. I think these things are possible. And if he's playing at a Cy Young level, worth every penny. Thanks, Brad Paisley, if you read that the Fabian Ardaya article in The Athletic.
With Glasnow though, they could have brought Kendrick or something, because he's actually a huge rap fan. I heard that the Paisley thing just happened by happenstance. They happen to be yeah. But looking forward, just at this year, and we were talking about the rest of the lineup. As that one guy tweeted you, the 3 through 9. I guess he meant 4 through 9, but
I think he probably meant 4 through 9. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
But looking at that 4 through 9, defensively, how did we feel after watching this home opener? I mean, Mookie had the one muff, but Lux is looking good, and then Hayward, the 4 or 5 time Gold Glove, amazing diving catch. Oof.
But even the Mookie play, like I'm not even 100% that he gets him with a good throw on that one. I mean, like,
I think he would have got him.
So, all right, so we'll call that a muff. I mean, that's fine, but I think for the most part they were strong. I didn't really have any major concerns defensively. You mentioned the Hayward play. I mean, that was pretty sparkling. So and it was interesting though, late in that game, they did make some defensive changes. I mean, I don't know if that was just Roberts just kind of wanting to get some guys out on the field or whatever. I mean, it was 7-1 at that point, but they kind of shifted the outfield. They brought in, they brought in some changes in the infield too. So, I think right now, you have the luxury to kind of play around with things. I know that's what we talked about the other day, right? You get a month or two to sort of play around with things and then figure out what you want to do down the stretch. So maybe that's what that was yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What I liked about the Hayward dive is that it really solidifies why you were able to move Mookie into the infield, because Jason Hayward is a Gold Glove right fielder and can make plays just like that. I know he's a little bit older, but he still has that glove and he still has that ability. That's why it was okay. I understand Mookie moving in so that you can have Hayward playing more often. And look, he needs to fix it. He needs to fix his shortstop abilities. It's going to take time. I don't think it's a concern right now, but if he's still making those throws and getting errors, that's going to come back to hurt him later on down the season. So he needs to get that all fixed up, because otherwise, that's going to be a problem down the stretch, especially on that left side of the infield we've talked about so much. I love that we're not talking about Gavin Lux right now and
I know
balls at second base, but that was the whole point of moving it, was to fix the left side of the infield, and you're still getting errors from both Muncy and Mookie. That's got to get cleaned up.
Yeah. So, real quick, we, have kind of been touching everything as a whole, talking about everything as in a little macro vision, but I want to touch on Shohei. He's finally, I feel, officially in Hollywood. I think this was the real deal right here. The eruption when you guys can find it on ESPN Los Angeles social page. I posted it. I was sitting in the, I think, right field side. I wanted to get the full stadium view of everyone cheering when he got announced by Bryan Cranston. So Shohei's in Hollywood, and with that comes a certain level of I don't even know what to say.
What does it say?
Decopin.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's amazing.
So if
that dude really actually kind of looks like Shohei, though. The guy on the right, kind of looks like Shohei.
The Angels should have brought him in instead of the white dude when they were taking pictures last year.
Oh gosh, yeah. If anybody in the chat kind of knows who these guys are, I mean, I didn't get their tags, but I was just so shocked. I was standing there getting the reaction of Shohei, and here comes Decoy and Shohei. And with being in Hollywood, that's what this entails. And Marcus, how do we feel about just seeing Shohei finally in Hollywood and seeing him perform?
Oh yeah, no. I think the Bryan Cranston intro, that was his true welcome to Los Angeles moment, right? And to get that ovation. I mean, honestly, that's part of why, I know we talked about it before, but moments like that are sort of why it sucks that the actual season opener was in Korea, right? Like, look, I know everybody sort of makes it opening day and it's still special and still fun, but it would have been fun to have that for the actual true first home game of the season. But whatever. It was his welcome to LA moment. and the fact that his first at bat, he hits a double, even if he gets thrown out trying to stretch, it doesn't matter. It was still that excitement of like, yeah, this guy is here. He's ready to play. He's going to contribute immediately. That was really, really exciting. Side note, does the guy dressed as decoy, do you think that was his idea or did he have to be talked into? Because I mean, this wasn't just in the comfort of his own home. I mean, he was out he was out in Gin Pop, like circulating through Gin Pop, with a tail on his hip. Like,
do you think those guys came together or they just kind of found each other?
oh, they had to have come together.
Yeah, they came together, right? So they had to. How do you decide who's Shohei and who's Dekopin?
Well,
like
the guy who looks like Shohei is going to be Shohei.
But I mean, I'd still be like, no, I want to be Dekopin today. They switch, it just go back and forth.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I mean, it's just a testament to
Why
like
didn't you ask these
Shohei's
questions.
You're right. But you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I think I've seen them through scrolling through TikTok at one point. I think they might travel where Ohtani goes.
That's a question. Were they Angels fans last year? Were they Angels fans for the previous few years? And now they've moved up, 30 miles up the freeway.
Well, what I'm waiting to see, and this is a very deep poll, I guess, for Angels fans, but there was a mini Tani who went to every single game. I think most people have seen him. He went viral.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see if maybe he moves on up to LA or if he kind of got stuck in Anaheim and became a fan of a rotten franchise. I don't know.
I would assume. I mean, I assume that he is a Shohei fan and not an Angel fan. So he'll be at Dodger Stadium quite often. I would assume. I don't know. But that would.
Well, the one thing
apparently Chris says they were at the Soul Series, both those dudes.
Okay, so I was correct in when I thought I saw them through TikTok and everything, and we'll be seeing them a lot more. So, if Dodgers fans, if you're at the stadium, go and find Decoy.
So that is your new job, Parker. The next time you get a credential and go to the Dodger game, it's to go talk to them and find out everything you can figure out about them.
Yes, like investigative journalism.
Yes, exactly. How they decide who gets to be Dekopin and Shohei. Do they switch off? Do they keep it all the same? Are they going to travel around with the Dodgers everywhere? Are they going over? Will they go up to San Francisco and San Diego and St. Louis? These are the questions we need to know in the review.
Man.
Actually, the real Decoy was there. If you saw Shohei's Instagram page, he was posting.
I saw some photos. Yeah.
So I might need to do a little on top of investigative journalism. I might need to get these two connected. Real Decoy and whatever you want to call that.
You've got to get the picture of all of them, right? You've got to get the real Shohei and the real Decoy with, I don't know what are they going to call them, like faux hay and faux decoy. Like I don't know what to call them.
Oh, hey, I really like Shohei.
Decoy, right? Like it still works as the name.
Yeah, he's a decoy, exactly, for decoy.
So, I mean, I think just being able to be there, game one, I mean, I'll show you guys kind of the top deck view. Absolutely beautiful. You got the sombreros were out.
The sombrero is actually a nice touch, getting that in the picture, because it fits. Yeah.
It reminded me that baseball is back, and I think that perfectly encapsulated it. We will be reacting every day to all Dodgers games, and I'm just excited that we can do this and I can do this. I wish both of you guys were at the game as well, but I think we'll have to get in some games. I'll leave you guys with maybe some closing thoughts. Anything about the actual game or maybe Bobby coming up that you want to say?
Look, like I said, I thought everything went according to plan yesterday. Glasnow looked good. The guys at the top of the lineup, the guys up and down the lineup hit for sure. So I think it's just more of keeping it going, because we saw in Seoul they had they come out with the season opening win. They kind of fell flat. The pitching fell flat in game two. So now it's just a matter of putting back-to-back good games together.
Yeah, I'm just excited to see Bobby. He had a really good start in his last spring training start. I think he's going to be very, very good. But I wouldn't expect what we saw yesterday every single game, but I would expect it 70% of the time, Marcus. So I think if we can get it at a pretty decent clip, and the guys below also are performing as well, I think it'll be fine. But it's exciting to see Bobby. I would love to see him have a really, really big year this year and show what he's all about.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we'll be back Monday. Before we head out, I just want to remind everyone that the Blue Review is presented by LAX. Remember that Los Angeles International Airport is changing just changing the travel experience, transforming the traffic, saving guests time, all that great stuff. And if you want to learn more, you can find it out at flylax.com/transforming-LAX. Greg, feel better. I hope that you can get a good work day.
Don't need to look at that eye.
yeah, we'll look at the other eye. We'll look at the other eye. Marcus Grant, thank you for being here, and we hope that the lady got a good workout in. And I'm Parker Bell, and thank you to LAX. We'll be back with the Blue Review on Monday. Dodgers baseball happening all weekend. They got the Cardinals. You know, we'll see Bobby. We'll see Yamamoto. Hopefully, there will be some rain. We'll keep
There's gonna be rain.
Yeah. But this has been the Blue Review, and thank you for being here. We'll catch you next time.
See you guys.
So